Alright, if you're a modern web developer, you're going to be looking at all kinds of new features coming out constantly. New CSS, new JavaScript features, even new HTML tags come out. All the different browsers, mobile browsers, laptop, desktop, tablet. You've got a lot of different platforms, you've got a lot of different features. Chrome on Android, Chrome on iOS, Chrome on your MacBook. There's different variants available depending on what devices your audience is using. So it's a very important thing to keep up to date on what is supported and where. When you build your website, you're going to have things that you like to use all the time, common code, JavaScript snippets, CSS snippets that you're just copying and pasting, or maybe you've got template files that you use all the time. It's good to be aware, and it's good to test and see whether or not what you're using in your CSS and HTML and JavaScript will work for everyone, or for what percentage of people will this work. If you're using something that doesn't run on IE7, okay, I'm not going to worry about that. If you're using something that only runs in the latest version of Firefox or the latest version of Chrome, that could be an issue. So I've got a few websites here that you can use to test and see whether or not what you're doing is the best choice for what you're trying to achieve. CanIUse.com, fantastic website. Here's a list of the most searched for features on here, but you can search for whatever you want. Let's say fetch. There we go. I'm searching for fetch. I want to know which browsers support the JavaScript fetch, which is part of the ES6. So here we go. I'm looking at IE. Wasn't supported in IE11, the last version of IE, and I know by looking at this that the last version of IE11 was released in 2013 in October. So, okay, that's not that long ago, but I have to consider what's the current percentage of browsers that are using it, and who is my target audience. Am I building something for maybe mobile-only users? Well, I don't have to worry about IE11 if I'm looking at mobile-only users. There's not going to be many people out there who have a mobile device with an old version of IE that they've managed to install on that device. And then we can see that pretty much everybody here, except for iOS, in the most recent version, iOS Safari finally got support for fetch, March 2017. Up until March 2017, any code that you wrote with fetch was going to fail. So version 10.3, finally iOS Safari supports fetch. That's a great thing. Android. Back after version 4.4.4 of Android, they stopped connecting the browser, the version of the web view that comes from Chrome. They stopped tying that directly to the operating system, and they let the operating system on Android devices update Chrome as a separate component. So you got these little tiny updates, and it was updating Chrome. And so from that point on, you were updating versions of Chrome. So 56 is the latest version that they've got record here for. And you can see that's Android 5 to 6. I believe Android 7 has a Chromium 59 version. Oh no, sorry, it is Chrome is version 59. The Android web view is only up to version 56. So it's about equal to Chrome 56, give or take. Now, this gives you a small subset of the browsers. We can show all, and then you can see here's every possible browser, and we can go back through and look and see where there was no support, partial support, or full support for fetch through all the various browsers. Okay, so that's CanIUse. Excellent website. You can search for any feature you want. If you're looking to do stuff with Node, writing code on the command line, writing code on the server using JavaScript, and you want to know which JavaScript features are supported, node.green is an excellent website that goes back all the way to version 0.10 of Node, which actually wasn't that long ago. there's been a huge jump in versions over the last couple of years. So actually, version 9.0 of Node has just recently been released. And you can go through all the features, and even drilling into these features, you can find out a little bit more information about them. So this is where you'd find Node support for JavaScript. For support for CSS and JavaScript, MDN, the Mozilla Developer Network, fantastic resource for how various elements work. So I'm on the array filter method page. At the bottom of every one of these pages, you will find a little section called browser compatibility. And here's the desktop browsers saying who supports array.filter, and then mobile browsers. So we can see, yes, everybody supports, starting at IE 9 and forward, everybody supports the array.filter method. MDN works for CSS as well. If you're searching for CSS features, you will find the browser compatibility table on every page. And one last thing, connected to Can I Use, actually, if you're on the home page, you'll find the link down here in the third-party tools, Do I Use? This one allows you to test your HTML, CSS, and see how well supported or what in your CSS. So I have a snippet here that I had from one of my test pages, and I click on the Tell Me button after pasting it in, and I can see here, okay, I'm using REM in a couple places. So max width 40 REM was in my CSS. Browsers missing support, IE 8.9. So they did not support this. So if I'm not targeting those as possible browsers, I can go ahead and use this. Opera Mini and IE8 do not support the CSS3 border radius property, so I can't do border top right radius. All right, so there's 4 great websites. If you have any others that you want to share, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.